Welcome back, guys. Today I've got a really nice meal in store. It's a Hungarian favourite. It's beef goulash. Now we're going to be cooking it in this slow cooker today. So it's a good meal to prepare if you work. So if you get everything prepared the night before, just throw it all into the slow cooker the next morning, leave it for 8 hours. When you get home it'll be done. Really nice meal, really easy to make. So let's look at the ingredients that we're going to be using to make this meal. So firstly, we've got some diced beef steak. It's about 750 grams there. So that's some nice beef steak there. We're going to be using a red and a green pepper, and we're going to be using some black pepper, salt, paprika, smoked paprika as well. I've got some beef stock cubes, I've got some bay leaves, I've got some caraway seeds, some olive oil, about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic I shall be using, some tomato puree, 1 medium to large sized onion, tin of chopped tomatoes, some caster sugar, some natural yoghurt, and we're going to be complementing it with some boiled rice. This is gluten-free rice because the missus can only have gluten-free. Now, in the recipe it will say 150 millilitres of red wine, but my wife can't have red wine, so what we'll be doing, we will be replacing that with 150 millilitres of extra water on top of the water that's already in the recipe. So we're just replacing the red wine for water, but other than that, that's all the ingredients that we should be using to make this meal. So what we need to do is get everything prepared, dump it all into the slow cooker and leave it. If you have it on high setting, it'll probably take about 4 hours, maybe 4 hours and 15 minutes. If you have it on a low setting, then it's going to take about 7 to 8 hours. So it's a good meal to prepare if you go to work, it'll be ready when you get home. So let's get started. What we'll do now is we'll start preparing everything that we need for the meal. So what we're going to do, we're going to slice the red and green peppers and the onion, and then we're going to throw all that into a bowl, because it's all got to be dumped into the slow cooker anyway. So let's start with the onion. So just cut it straight down the middle, like that. Cut off both ends because you're going to be slicing it, so it doesn't matter about the 2 ends. Cut both of them off. Take your peeling off. And once you got your peeling off, all you do is just slice them that way. Don't slice them that way. Slice them from this end here. So nice and thinly. Then they'll all just break up into slices like that. Okay, so we'll do the other one. Okay, so that's the onion prepared. I'm just going to dump that into a large bowl. Okay, so throw all them into a bowl because they will be added to the slow cooker. And I'm going to do the same with red peppers. I'm going to thinly slice them and dump them into the same bowl. So we're going to prepare the red pepper first. Just cut it down the middle. Pull out the stalk. Like that. And we're going to need to wash all these seeds out. So we're going to rinse them under a cold tap and wash all the seeds away. Okay, so that's all the seeds rinsed away and washed out. So just again, finely slice it I like to get rid of all this white middle bit. And then once these are sliced, just dump them into the pan with the onion. So we'll get this finished and then we'll do the same with the green. Okay, that's the red one done. Just dump them in there with the onions. And now I'm going to do the same for the green. Now this is a really nice dish, you will like this, trust me, it's really nice. And just throw them in the bowl with the red peppers and the onions. So that's pretty much all the preparation done. So the next stage now is to seal the beef, which we're going to do right now. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to seal this beef off. So we're going to put a tablespoon of olive oil into a wok. And heat that up. And then what you want to do is you want to drop this into the hot oil, keep turning it, you want to brown it all off and then drop it into the slow cooker. Okay, so that's the first step. So let's get that in there. So just keep turning it now until it all goes brown. You don't want to see any pink or red. You want it all nice and brown, so seal it all off. So at this point, I'm going to turn the slow cooker on to high. Like I said, if you want it to do slower, like if you want it to finish when you finish work, then you put it on a low setting, and that'll take about 8 hours or so. You want this beef really, really tender, so that's the idea of doing it really slowly. So that's done now. What we'll do now is we drop that straight into the slow cooker. Okay. And what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to just pick it all off because I don't want the fat in there. So I'm going to do it like this. So that's all the beef gone in there. I'm just going to drain away this fat. Put the lid on the slow cooker. And the next thing you want to do, get your pan nice and hot. In the same pan you want to drop in 1.5 teaspoons of caraway seeds. Drop them in, about 1.5 teaspoons, with a tablespoon of olive oil, and you want to roast them in there for about 2 minutes. So give it a good roasting. This will release the flavours of the caraway seeds. So let them cook for about a couple of minutes. That'll do. And then what you want to do then is, this is where you add your red wine, 150 millilitres of red wine, but as I said previously, the wife can't have red wine, so I'm compensating that with 150 millilitres of water. So if you don't want the red wine in there, just put another 150 millilitres of water in there. Get that nice and hot. Get that to boiling. And then put it over your beef in the stock pot in your slow cooker. So if you're using red wine, you'll cook it for about 2.5 minutes, and that'll evaporate all the alcohol out of the wine. but we're just using water for this recipe. That's about right. Now we're going to pour that straight into the slow cooker. Make sure you scrape out all the seeds. And then that's the cooking there on the cooker finished with. So your next step is to add all the ingredients. Now we've added the caraway seeds so they can go. Next we add all our prepared vegetables. Just drop them straight in. And you want 1 tablespoon of paprika. Sprinkle it in. Sprinkle it all over it like that. And then 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika. Then you add 4 tablespoons of corn flour. Plenty of salt from a great height. And a good helping of black pepper. Next I'm going to add about 4 garlic cloves, and I'm going to be using this garlic crusher. If you've not got a garlic crusher, just get a garlic clove, and hit it with the back of a spoon. So first of all you need to peel it, so cut the ends off. And then just peel the skin off. So you peel that skin off like that. Okay. So you've got the garlic in there. So I'm going to peel these first and I'm going to crush them. So I want about 4 cloves. Okay, let's get these crushed. So that's all my garlic crushed. So there's 4 cloves of garlic gone in there. Now we're going to stir all that together. We'll give it all a good mixing up. Now we're going to add a tin of chopped tomatoes. And here I've made 300 millilitres of stock with 2 stock cubes. That can go in there. Then we want about 4 tablespoons of tomato puree. I'm going to put in 2 bay leaves. There's 2 bay leaves I've gone in. And once again we're going to mix all that in. Give it all a really good mixing, and we're going to let that cook now on a low temperature, about 4 hours, and the beef should be really tender. Now this is a really nice meal, this, you will like this, trust me. So get it all really good mixing in, like that. Just get it good mixing in for a while, and all you do then, lid on and let it cook for about 4 hours, as I said, on a low heat. Go out, take your dog for a walk, take your kids to the park. You've got a good few hours, come back and that'll be nice and ready, and it'll be really tender. Once that's done, I shall cook the boiled rice, and we'll be having it with boiled rice. So get in about 4 hours. I'll see you then. Okay, so it's coming up to 4 hours. We're going to have a look at the stock pot now, the slow cooker. See how the beef is, and then we'll move on to cooking the rice. Okay, let's have a look. We'll give it a stir. At this stage now I'm going to add some sugar, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of caster sugar, which I'll do now. So put your 2 teaspoons of caster sugar in there. Give it another good stir. Give that a good stir to mix it all in. And I'm going to test the beef because I want to make sure it's nice and tender before I start cooking the rice. Okay, that's looking good. So let's get a nice big chunk of beef. That one will do. Just want to test this beef. It's going to be hot. Mmm. Mmm. Beautiful. Now we're going to start cooking the rice. By the time the rice is cooked, this is all going to be ready for plating up. Okay, so I've got a kettle on the boil. Once that's boiling, I'll add the boiling water into the pan, about 3/4 of the way up. I've got half of a bag of rice, which I'll put into a sieve. I'm now going to give this a really good rinsing under this cold water tap to get rid of all the starch out of the rice because we want it nice and fluffy. So while that's boiling, I'm going to give this a good rinse. Okay, so that's had a really good rinse. So it's about 3/4 of the way. Get that boiling. As soon as that's boiling, put the rice in. And as soon as the rice hits the pan, stir it straight away because you don't want the rice to stick to the pan. Okay? So let's get that in there. Now I'm going to cook this for about 8 minutes. Depends on what rice you use. This is on full heat. Just keep coming back and testing it. You don't want it overcooked and stodgy. So we'll let that get to the boil. Keep stirring it and we'll cook it for about 8 minutes. I'll set the timer for 8 minutes, but I will check it in between. That's 8 minutes. So I'll keep popping back and checking this. So let's give that a quick try. I've been popping in and stirring it to make sure it's not stuck, doesn't stick to the pan. Just going to pinch a little bit off there. That's well ready. I've boiled some water, so I'm going to now sieve that through the sieve and washed it about three or four times with boiling water to get rid of any remaining starch. So, okay, so what we're going to do now is sieve it through here in the boiling water that we boiled earlier on, and just wash it through a couple of times with the boiling water. Give it a fluffing up. That's nice and fluffy that now. Just run it through a couple of times. And that is now ready. So I shall now plate up and sit down and enjoy it. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes. And there you have my slow cooked beef goulash with fluffy boiled rice. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click on like and subscribe, and watch out for some more of my tasty recipes which will be coming out soon. So all that remains for us to do now is me and the missus is to sit down and enjoy it. So thanks for watching, see you again.